Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had that quiet moment, maybe late at night or during a walk, where you wonder, is this really all I'm capable of? That feeling, that itch, that whisper inside you, that's your potential calling. And here's the truth. Unlocking your potential isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. I believe that every single person in this room was built for something more than just surviving the week. We were built to lead, to serve, to create, to contribute. But potential isn't unlocked through pressure, it's unlocked through purpose. Let's start with why. 1. Start with why. When people ask me, Simon, how do I find my potential? I ask them, why do you get out of bed in the morning? Because people who know why they do what they do are the ones who inspire others and unlock the best in themselves. Your potential isn't tied to what you do, it's tied to why you do it. That's your anchor, your compass, your cause. So don't just chase goals, chase meaning too. Embrace the infinite game. We tend to think of success like a finish line. Once I get that promotion, once I hit that number, then I'll have made it. But that's not how human potential works. Life is not a finite game. It's not about beating someone else or ticking off a list. It's about staying in the game long enough to become who you're capable of being. The best way to unlock your potential is to fall in love with the journey, not the result. 3. Surround yourself with the right people. You cannot do this alone. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Surround yourself with people who push you, who challenge you, who believe in you, especially when you forget to believe in yourself. Potential is contagious. When you're around people who are playing bigger, you start to play bigger. 4. Be the last to speak. One of the best ways to grow. Listen more, speak less. I've sat in rooms with CEO, military generals, visionaries, and you know who unlocks their potential the fastest? The ones who ask more questions than they give answers. The ones who stay curious. The ones who never stop learning. Your potential expands in direct proportion to your humility. 5. Serve something bigger than yourself. If your goals only serve you, you'll burn out. But when your work becomes about helping others, solving real problems, making things better, that's when something shifts. That's when you tap into reserves of strength, resilience, and creativity you didn't even know you had. Purpose fuels potential. So how do you unlock your potential? You start with why. You play the infinite game. You surround yourself with people who lift you. You stay humble and curious. And you serve something greater than yourself. Because in the end, your potential isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become while you're striving for something that matters. Thank you. Would you like this speech adjusted for a specific audience, students, leaders, teams, etc.? Or format TD style, 3-minute, etc.? Unlocking your potential begins with understanding your why, your purpose. Without a clear reason behind your actions, effort becomes empty. When you know why you wake up in the morning, your work gains meaning, and you stop chasing validation. Instead, you pursue what aligns with who you truly are. Purpose is the foundation of all personal growth. Get the job, buy the house, hit the number, win the title. But the truth is, life is not a finite game with winners and losers, it's an infinite one. And potential isn't something you win. It's something you continuously grow into. In a finite game like football or chess, the rules are clear, the players are known, and the goal is to win. But in the infinite game of life, the players change, the rules evolve, and the goal isn't to beat anyone. The goal is to keep playing. Here's what happens when we forget that. We burn out chasing artificial finish lines. We compare ourselves to others. We measure success by trophies, not transformation. But people who truly unlock their potential, they don't ask, how do I win? They ask, how do I stay in the game and get better every day? That shift changes everything. It means you're no longer defined by a failure or limited by a success. You're focused on becoming, not arriving. It also means you make different choices. You prioritize sustainability over speed. You care more about impact than impressions. You invest in learning, in people, in purpose, not just in outcomes. Here's the paradox. The people who play the infinite game often outperform those who try to win. Not because they try harder, but because their motivation runs deeper. They're driven by something enduring. So if you want to unlock your potential, stop asking what's next and start asking what's worth it. Because the moment you choose to play the infinite game, the game of growth, purpose, and contribution, your potential stops being a destination and starts being a way of life. We like to celebrate individual success stories, the lone genius, the self-made leader, but it's a myth. Behind every great achievement is a network of people who challenged, supported, and believed. If you want to grow, you need to choose your circle with intention. Here's the reality. The people you spend the most time with will either pull you forward or hold you back. If you're surrounded by people who play small, complain often, or fear change eventually, that mindset will become yours. Not because you're weak, but because we become what we're around. But when you're around people who push boundaries, who think bigger, who live with purpose, your standard rises. You start to believe more is possible, not just for them, but for you. Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." I would take it one step further. You are shaped by the energy, values, and vision of the people around you. So take inventory. Who in your life inspires you to grow? Who calls you out when you settle? Who believes in the version of you that you haven't fully stepped into yet? And just as important, who are you being for others? Unlocking your potential isn't just about being around the right people. It's also about being that person for someone else. Be the one who lifts, encourages, and challenges. That's how you build a culture of growth. Because in the end, unlocking potential isn't a solo pursuit, it's a shared journey. They listen. In meetings, in conversations, in conflict, they don't rush to offer their opinion. They wait. They ask questions. They give space for others to speak first. Why? Because listening isn't passive. It's a strategy. It's a signal of respect, of humility, of curiosity. And most importantly, it's how you learn. I once asked a Navy SEAL commander what made the best leaders in his unit. He didn't say toughness, strength, or intelligence. He said, "They're the ones who are always asking questions, always listening. When you speak first, you shut down ideas. People conform to your opinion. But when you speak last, you get the truth. You hear things you would have missed, and that truth helps you make better decisions, see more clearly, and grow more deeply. So if you want to unlock your potential, talk less, listen more. Ask better questions. Don't listen to respond, listen to understand. Because the smartest person in the room isn't the one who talks the most, it's the one who learns the most. And the one who learns the most has the greatest chance of becoming something greater than they are today. So be the last to speak, not because your voice doesn't matter, but because it does. And when you do speak, it will mean more. The people who truly unlock their potential are driven by more than money, recognition, or achievement. They're driven by contribution, by the desire to make something better than how they found it. This is what separates short-term success from lasting impact. When your work becomes about service, your motivation shifts. You stop asking, "What can I get?" and start asking, "What can I give?" And that's when something changes internally and externally. Internally, you become more resilient. You push through setbacks because you're not just working for yourself. You're working for your team, your cause, your community. Externally, people are drawn to you. Why? Because service creates trust. And trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship in business, leadership, and life. We are wired to find fulfillment through helping others. It's in our biology. And yet, in a world obsessed with personal gain, service can feel like a radical idea. But it's not. It's essential. If you want to unlock your potential and keep it unlocked, tie your work to something greater. A mission, a movement, a reason beyond yourself. Because when you serve something bigger than you, you become bigger than you ever imagined. We say things like, "I'll feel successful when I get the job, when I hit that goal, when I prove myself." But here's the truth. The real growth, the real unlocking of your potential doesn't happen at the finish line. It happens on the way there. The journey is where you build resilience. The journey is where you develop discipline. The journey is where you become the kind of person who's capable of achieving that thing you want. And yet, we try to rush through it. We get impatient. We treat discomfort as something to avoid, instead of something to learn from. But discomfort is not the enemy, it's the signal that you're growing. The people who unlock their potential don't just tolerate the process, they learn to love it. They celebrate progress, not just perfection. They see setbacks as part of the story, not the end of it. Because the goal is not to arrive, the goal is to evolve. So if you're on the path and it feels hard, slow, messy, that's okay. That's how it's supposed to feel. Keep going, the journey is where the magic happens. Fall in love with it, and your potential will take care of itself.